Hello again, it's Garson, and today we've done it. We've new and improved Vampiric Touch build. Actually, like, legit, this is pretty cool. I don't even know why it took until somebody to tell me, yo, use, you know, sorcery points. But anyway, check this out. Alright, we can go to level 6 for a 6d6 Necrotic Touch, and let's go ahead and use a distance spell. Look, we can even do it at range. We can even miss at range. How cool is that? Oh, I know. I'm hyped too. Come over here. Just because I missed once doesn't mean I'll miss again. That's right. I can quicken magic, and look, it even affects the second cast. So as long as you're concentrating on Vampiric Touch, you can keep using it for 10 turns. As long as you got actions, and if you're the new, you know, Death Cleric we talked about yesterday, come on! Look at that bonus damage. Where did that come from? Oh, right. I gotta show you that. Alright. Sadly, that doesn't heal you. Because it's not a spell. Alright. But of course, if you got the right setup... Look, we can even shield. If you got the right setup, you can even twin meta magic. Of course, you know, I would have to make some points here, so hold on. Just, bear with me. Here's my bonus action. Okay, you can twin it. Ooh, you can twin it. Monk. You're gone. Suck the life out of him. Alright, sweet. Nope. Nope. Alright, and if I somehow lost concentration, I could always consume life essence to give me more, but instead, what I'll do is create a crazy false life for free. I'm living life falsely. Sanctuary, goodbye. Bye-bye. Can't touch this. Alright, so walk away, and then make some sorcery points. Make a bunch of sorcery. Bye-bye. And check this out, you can even make it distant meta magic. So I can hit you from this far away. Hi-ya! Why do we get 2 heals? That's what we're here to find about. So, Vampiric Touch. We're going to answer, can you make a Vampiric Touch build? And some other patch 8 related questions, because this does actually use the new Death Domain Cleric we just talked about. So, as always, let's roll back. Let's pull out some notes. Pudding! Alright, let's make a cute little vampire bat right here. We're going to make a true vampire build. Alright. I don't really do build videos, but I figured I'd show you the mechanics anyway. And a big thank you to you guys, because literally I had 2 people request something or kind of like collaborate with this, not just in the last video, but like a while back, and we were thinking about Death Cleric, and yeah, shut up. Anyway, so true Vampire Touch build. We're going to talk about that, but more importantly, it's going to answer some of your patch 8 questions. Thanks to you guys. A big thank you to you guys. I have access to the patch 8 stress test, so pop the boop-a-doo, patch 8 stress test top left. It is now official up there. But jokes aside, I appreciate you guys. If you want to follow along in the right hand side, just skip around if you need to. Otherwise, if you want to support the channel, just watch the whole video. It really helps. Alright? So, patch 8 answers. These are subject to change. Remember, the patch 8 stress test has had an update. Things have had change, right? But I'm going to answer some of your questions. Hopefully these answers, you know, stay relevant once the patch is out, and then you can go and use them, alright? So, what we'll do is we'll go ahead, of course, throw up some videos. Let's see the first one from Foul Weather. So Foul Weather is asking a few questions here. I'm only going to focus on the first one when he's talking about Storm Sorcery and the new Booming Blade cantrip. So check it out. So does Storm Sorcery level 6, you get a level 1 ability where if you cast a spell, not a cantrip per se, but a leveled spell, you can fly around. And the Heart of the Storm at level 6, you get this if you cast a lightning or a thunder spell, leveled or higher, right? Level 1 or higher, you can actually do some extra damage. But unfortunately, Booming Blade is a cantrip, so I apologize, Foul Weather. It does not seem to work with Booming Blade. I even tried to test it a little bit more, see if there's anything wonky here. Keep in mind, Booming Blade only works once per turn. The only reason it's flashing right now is just because, well, I started combat with it. It's a silly little trick. You can use 2 Booming Blades in the same turn. Alright, but yeah, anyway. We're set up with a Sorkadin, like Foul Weather was talking about, but sadly, once again, I try. But, oh, Foul Weather was also asking, can you use Quicken meta magic to get a 3rd attack with your Sorkadin, for instance? You get to attack twice, and then you can use Booming Blade as a Quicken spell to get a 3rd weapon attack. Yes, you can. So, I figured I'd show that too. Check that out. So, good question. Foul Weather, appreciate it. So unfortunately you can't, but when it comes to Booming Blade, you can use it with meta magic to get a third weapon attack, so that actually is pretty useful right there. Good mix combo right there for your Sorkadin. Alright, so what about Geoff? What's his question? Hold on, let me pull this up. Has to do with the new Arcane Archer, huh? So, Geoff Richardson, he said, can Bursting Arrow or even Piercing Arrow stack a lot of Arcane Acuity? What could that be used for in multiclass? Well, first, before we use it in multiclass, can it even be used? So I have a multiclass right here with Arcane Archer from a previous video. What we're going to try and do is see if we get Arcane Acuity more stacks than just once when we hit with these Piercing or Bursting arrows, right? So let's try it. As you can see, I get Arcane Acuity if I hit somebody with this. I have the Fire Acuity hat. I have a weapon that deals fire damage, so I get Acuity whenever I hit with the arrow, right? So if I use Piercing Arrow, everything gets hit with fire damage. I should be getting tons of stacks of Acuity. Yep, you can see 1, 2, 3, couple targets right there. Even the robot's pissed about that. But even though I'm dishing out all this fire damage, I actually only get 1 Acuity. So, unfortunately, it doesn't work. And that fire damage doesn't actually apply to Bursting Arrow, so it's a little annoying to kind of show it in this video clip. Great question. It's just annoying in this video clip. I couldn't get it working too well. But basically, when I tried a Bursting Arrow, the only thing that happens in the Bursting Arrow is that you have to hit a main target, and then the additional force damage will be focused around that target in a big circle. So there's no real way to add damage onto that other than like Rhapsody, the little dagger in Act 3. So yeah, long story short, you cannot really add Acuity damage, or you can't gain multiple stacks of Acuity without something like Arrow of Many Targets, as far as I've seen in my testings. But I figured I'd try it again, show it to you, have some video evidence of it. So unfortunately, okay, what we're going to do is try and do a Bursting Arrow. I'll get everybody as best I can out of the way. Shadowheart's injured. Alright, move for Shadow. Yeah, come on. Good job, Shart. Yeah, shield. There you go. Yeah. 10 million reactions over here. Alright, so, like I said, Karlach's gonna shoot a Bursting Arrow, so we tried Piercing, let's try a Bursting Arrow. You have to center it, that's what I was talking about. But we do have Cuthbert over there, he does get hit, but I don't get additional Acuity stacks, so thanks for waiting just a little bit there, being patient. I just wanted to show you both arrow types, and they don't really acquire Acuity. And by the way, I did try the different Acuity helmets, none of it really works, so they're just wonky arrows, they don't really consider themselves weapon attacks or whatnot. Strange how that works. But yeah, you think even the Fire Acuity would work. Sorry about that. But anyway, Honeybun, what's he got over here? So, let's pull up a new video. It's another piercing question, huh? A very popular question. Okay, so right here, Honeybun was asking a bit of a random poll here, but do you think Arcane Arrow spells use, get bonus damage from the legendary staff, the little special fire buff or elemental buff you get from the legendary Marco Heshkir, Koreska's Favor? You can choose one of many elements, so it's active. You can see I have the free fire spells and whatnot, and technically it seems like, the Piercing Shot is a spell of sorts, so does it get the fire buff, like the additional proficiency damage? Let's find out. So I'm going to actually just go all out with this build. I'm going to actually add the cleaver damage to the bow. So you can see some other stuff. We did a video with the big archer. I can ride a lot of fire damage on it, but does this specific spell shot actually get a spell increase in damage, right? So you can see here 1, 2, 3, 4, but none of which are named after Koreska. So no, unfortunately, with these Arcane Arrow shots, they don't get any kind of benefit from the legendary staff, which is a really great question, because I also kind of was hoping and thinking that maybe because they are kind of coded for spells. So unfortunately, that's not the case, at least right now, unless they change anything. All right, so this kind of leads into today's subject matter, but let's do one more video. We have the shocking death. Are you ready for this? So, Autumn Wazkowitz was asking, can Touch of Death trigger off a Shocking Grasp? Furthermore, can it trigger off of a Shocking Grasp from the Warcaster feat, where you get a reaction attack with Shocking Grasp? Well, to answer both questions, let's do it. Ta-da! A shocking Touch of Death. And just to kind of follow up to this, because I have tested it, you can use Touch of Death with Shocking Grasp. That's not really a surprise. We did a video talking about Touch of Death. We just did the Death Domain video, and also I've shown in a few other videos similar questions, including what's it called? Thorn Whip. So there's a lot of things that actually interact with this. There's more I actually want to talk about with Touch of Death, maybe in a specific video, like the showing off things like the monk, the Death Touch monk was super cool yesterday. But overall, I just wanted to mention, today we're going to talk about some meta magics, and I just want to let you know, Shocking Grasp can be mixed with the meta magic Distant spell, and you can actually shock someone afar, and you can trigger Shocking Grasp, Touch of Death, from a distance. It's still considered a melee spell, go figure. So I figured I'd throw that in there, and it's a little relevant to today, because today's idea, I literally can't find the freaking comment. I'm so sorry, I really am. I like referencing you guys because I don't need credit. I don't need credit for builds I didn't come up with, right? Of course, I was thinking about a build with Vampiric Touch and how to do it, and somebody left a comment. I did a nice response to him, but now I can't find it and screen cap it, so I apologize. At the very least, I do want to shout out Nadira. Nadira also had this idea actually like I think a month ago or whatnot. So basically, he basically said, hey Karstic, I want to try and make a Vampiric Touch as a Gish build or whatnot. And we came up with some ideas. So I want to reference Nadira also had this stuck in my head too. I appreciate you guys. I'm sorry I can't figure out where that comment went. I'm sorry. But let's just talk about it today. It's just going to be a nice light video idea to talking about Vampiric Touch and how to kind of build around it. And I think I found the best way to do it with the new domain. It actually adds a really significant punch to this. Go figure. Okay, so action, or rather Vampiric Touch. So I'll kind of highlight this on the screen. Hover this over, back that out. Okay, so Vampiric Touch as a spell, you can see it on screen. It's an action. It's a level 3 spell. It's of the Necromancy class, and all this is going to be pretty relevant in a moment, right? So melee spells means that for this 3d6 necrotic damage, right, we're going to actually be able to crit it because it's a spell attack roll, similar to a weapon attack roll, right? Those can crit. So any dice damage, the 3d6, could then be critical hit. It can double all this dice damage, but more importantly, we can upcast it. So if we use a higher spell slot, we can go all the way to level 6, and this is pretty powerful, especially for the max potential here being 36. Okay, and you would go, well, that's not as strong as inflict wounds, which we were like glazing yesterday. Okay, but the thing is, it can be crit. It's a melee attack just like inflict wounds. It can crit just like inflict wounds, and you can build almost the exact same way. But here's the thing. It heals for half the damage, okay? So if you do a lot of damage with this thing, you can get a lot of heals back, right? Plus, there's a theme behind it, right? You're a vampire, so why not Astarion with his, vampiric background? Okay, but more importantly, it actually lasts for 10 turns. It's a concentration spell. And for the next 10 turns, as long as you have actions or even quicken spell, you can concentrate on this and you can keep casting it and potentially do 12d6 on a crit. So the fat chance you'll ever reach this, but you can get close to 72 maximum damage, and I'll show you how, right? So one way to max out this is using the new Death Cleric, right? Thank God we're going to get some new, or thank gods, I guess, because, there's many of them in this game. What is our god? Kalimvor. Cool. Balance. Basically, it's going to add some cool things to this, right? So at level 6, you're going to get 2 really good things. We just went over Death Cleric in the video. I highly recommend watching it because, man, everybody loves Reggie, and a lot of people liked some of the cool builds I showed there, but here's another one, right? So Touch of Death, we now know that this is kind of silly. This is actually just your cleric level. Don't worry about the dice. So at level 6, your cleric level is 6, obviously. You get double the cleric level plus 5, okay? So Touch of Death actually does, I think it's lying to us, and it's like 29 here. It's about 17 at level 6. Yeah, this is all dumb. So 17 damage on top of like a reaction of any melee attack, right? So it's bonus necrotic damage. We're already doing necrotic damage, so that's cool, right? It's a reaction. It doesn't actually cost a reaction point, so that's really nice too. You just need to have this channel divinity charge to use it, okay? And you get 2 of them at level 6, right? And also at level 6, you ignore necrotic resistances. So in my opinion, you could actually build a Vampiric Touch build with level 12 cleric death domain anyway, but we're going to enhance it even further with a multi-class, okay? But we're going to start here with Touch of Death, inescapable destruction, ignoring resistances, adding a nice bonus damage. This doesn't crit, and it doesn't add more healing damage, but it is a nice bonus necrotic damage, pushing it into a a kill, which could then heal us, and you'll see why. But first and foremost, Vampiric Touch is a spell, so any sorcerer can get meta magic at level 2, and we can learn distant magic and twin spell. So we could actually, using sorcery points, right? With sorcery points, we can actually cast it twice at the same time for 2 different targets, right? Using twin spell, or you can even use it at a distance and touch somebody over there, which is actually pretty crazy, right? And it's still considered a melee weapon, and or a melee attack. It'll still trigger Touch of Death, even wilder, right? So we can also go and use it as a bonus action. Since we only have 1 action per turn, we're concentrating on the spell. We can't concentrate on haste. At least we can attack with our bonus action if we need to, using sorcery points in our bonus action, thanks to Quicken spell, okay? So if we click this, we can now attack with a bonus action. So that's pretty cool. Right there. Okay, cool. And then all of these work with Vampiric Touch, obviously, and maybe we'll go Shadow Sorcerer for the thematic, but again, you are concentrating on a spell, so using Darkness doesn't really work too well here, but whatever. You do get Dark Vision out of it. Sadly, Darkness is a concentration spell. Alright, so anyway, we can take it one more step beyond, because we are 2 levels of Wizard to get the Necromancy class. And the only reason we would do that is for Grim Harvest. Alright, this is a little bit debatable to even have on the build, but hear me out. Level 2, Grim Harvest. This heals when you kill with a spell, okay? Since we are killing with a spell, Vampiric Touch, right? It's going to heal even more if it was a Necromancy spell. So any other spell, it would take the spell level. Let's just say I killed you with... sure, we'll just use Ray of Sickness, or no, we'll just use Vampiric Touch as an example. So Vampiric Touch is a level 3 spell. It would multiply that spell level by 2, and you would heal by that much. So it would be 6 additional healing. But since it is a Necromancy spell, it's actually 3 times instead of 2 times. So that would be 3 times 3, so that's 9 extra healing for a kill if you killed him with this spell, right? Now, sadly, it's always considered a spell level 3, even though we said we can upcast this. So even though I can kill them with an upcasted spell slot, it's still considered a level 3 Necromancy spell, and therefore it's 3 times 3, 9 healing. However, if Death Touch is going to give bonus damage, and it's going to get us the kill, then Death Touch could actually trigger the kill to get us the bonus 9 HP healing. So, whatever, throw it in there. Plus, Necromancer can give you some extra spells to use for utility reasons and whatnot. So, take Mage Armor or take Familiar or something cool like that. Okay, so putting it all together, this is an actual build, right, Tim? So go ahead. By the way, this all actually makes Bone Chill better. So if you want to be a Bone Chill centered build, or if you want to just naturally hit things at range with Bone Shield until you're ready to go into a concentration for Vampiric Touch, I'd be interested to see how this build actually performs in Honor Mode, right? So I think it's actually as good as it's going to get, right? Except for maybe the 2 Wizard levels, that's debatable. But you are a full caster, so you can use a level 6 Vampiric build, or Vampiric Might, really pushing the damage and healing up that much further, okay? And I like to progress through builds, so I'm not actually sure how you would level this, because there's a really stupid problem with the spell modifier. Spell modifier is extremely important because you need it for the accuracy on your attack roll. And currently with this silly multi-class dipping into like all the different mental stats, you have to take Cleric as your last new level 1 class, okay? So you would, at the very least, to get this started correctly with the right wisdom spell modifier, you would have to go 1 sorcerer, 1 wizard, and 1 cleric, which really, you know, takes a long while to get up to Vampiric Touch. And I'm just being a nerd trying to say, well, I don't really like going into the game, getting up to level 7 and being like, okay, now I'm gonna respec. I just don't like that. But it's theoretically possible, right? You could play it that way. Anyway, enough of my nerdiness. So probably better to just respec at certain levels if you want to try this out in a real run. Do you really need the wizard levels though? If you just kept it simple, being a sorcerer level 1 and then going into level 6 cleric, you'd be level 7 and you'd have the build online. And I don't think you really get that much healing from Grim Harvest anyway, but whatever. So, regardless though, it does work at level 12, and I want to show you the pieces that really amp this up, okay? So this is Astarion's true vampire build. 4 Shadow Sorcerer because of the theme more than anything. Get Dark Vision out of it. 2 Necromancer Wizard, and then finally 6 Death Cleric. Cleric has to be the last new class to use Wisdom as your accuracy on you know, I don't know why it does this. Apparently it'll start out as wisdom since I'm using the wisdom spell, but once it becomes a castable move on the hotbar down there, it starts becoming like whatever your spell modifier is. Tell me if I'm wrong in the comments. It's 16 dexterity, so you still have some decent armor class and robes, and you will need to use robes. 14 constitution, which eventually you can turn into 23 with this nice fancy amulet. By being a sorcerer first, you also get the saving throw proficiency, which is going to be very important to main concentration on this move. And 16 wisdom, because I think going death domain is the best way to use this move, and if it's your last class you need to use wisdom. But again, we could figure out the optimal way to level this thing. Feats, you need 2 of whatever stat you're using for accuracy. And then dual wielder. Dual wielder is vastly important because Rhapsody is just, go figure, good on everything, basically. Its damage always rides on top of other things. This thing even includes more damage on Touch of Death, which is kind of funny. So you can even do extra +3 damage from not only your Vampiric Touch, but you get 3 more Touch of Death damage, so that's kind of funny. Now, the reason to use the Cherished Necromancy is when you kill someone with a Necromancy spell or cantrip, you can steal their soul, and you can potentially cast a level 6 Necromancy spell for free. So if you ran out of time or you got knocked out of concentration, you can just cast this at level 6 for free, which is kind of baller. Okay. Now, Necrostaff, we talked about Rhapsody and Necrostaff. You would need to get the dual wielder feat to have these, and then you get a bonus armor class, which is great for being a cloth gear, you know, caster. Sharp caster hat makes a huge difference on spell attack rolls that deal dice damage. So see all this dice damage, especially if we crit, right? We would definitely want the spellcaster hat or the sharp caster hat. If you roll a 1 or 2 on these dice of 6, right? That means a third of the potential dice you could get are going to be crappy. So they will re-roll them for you, and it does make a huge difference. It's similar to Savage Attacker, but for spell attacks, right? And I've tested this, it does make a huge difference. Supreme Defense Cloth. This is great for maintaining concentration. This is going to add our spell modifier, our wisdom, to all saving throws, including our massive saving throw bonus to Constitution. So then you would only just need advantage. Oh wait, we got it from the amulet. The amulet gives us 23 Constitution, giving us a huge boost to saving throws while giving us advantage. So this gets up to like, I don't know, 16 saving throw with advantage. It's kind of nutty. I was hitting like above 29 on average for defensive rolls. Anyway, so Spellmite Gloves is huge. Spellmite Gloves is going to give another 1d8. This is effectively taking your Vampiric Touch to level 7 spell slot, you know, according to tabletop, maybe. I don't know. So yeah, just check that out. I don't know why this jumped all the way back. Sorry about that. Okay, so Spellmite Gloves, huge extra damage there. Nightwalkers, I figure you can get some free Misty Steps, not slip on things and lose concentration. Constitution Amulet and Whispering Ring. Since you're healing, instead of using the risky ring, which would really bump up your accuracy, you're going to have disadvantage and potentially lose concentration. So instead, just use the Whispering Ring. When you get a heal, you'll get a Bless effect that gives you more accuracy on attack rolls. Okay, so now that you actually know what's going on with all this, let's actually make some sorcery points. I'm just going to make a bunch. There we go. I don't need these spell slots anyway. Perfect. Okay, and I should have such ridiculous concentration that I'm going to invite you to come look at it in the notes here. Let's put the notes away. There we go. Okay. All right, so now watch when I attack, and again, I can lead in with a distant meta magic, which is actually pretty cool. And this is going to retain its level 6 damage for as long as I can maintain concentration. Even though I did it at distance, I could do a Touch of Death, right? If I killed him with that, that would have pushed him into the additional Grim Harvest healing, but we'll get that with a Quicken spell, right? We can now cast it again. There we go. Run up to him, kill him. We're a true vampire. I just stole his life essence, so if I ran out or wanted to get another necromancy spell, I could cast it for free. Any necromancy spell can now be cast as high as I want with a level 6 or like consume spell. Yeah, pretty cool. Oh yeah, and I have shield. Oh yeah. So once again, as long as I have concentration for 10 turns, I'm going to have this. I'm going to keep getting bless, so I'm actually fairly accurate with this thing. There we go, Touch of Death, and I almost got him. And you can be a dick and just be like, okay, can't touch this, and just walk over here. There's that death domain clear nonsense. And now everybody's going to come over here in my direction. That's right. Come here, buddy. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Gonna kill you. Okay, so he's almost dead. Now, the funny thing about Grim Harvest is we can cast a level 6 for free, and we're all healed up, right? No one can hurt me. I got Sanctuary. Oh man, I can't get to him. It's okay, I have Distant Spell. So I can cast any Necromancy level 6 spell for free, huh? I find that really fun. Okay, and then I can just Misty Step away, maybe over here. Whoops. Thanks to the boots, we can Misty Step for free. Now, if I take a hit, here's the wild thing is I have a 35 roll on my maintaining concentration. So I figured I'd show you that too, right? So I'm likely to never lose concentration. So I can truly say that I can focus on Vampiric Touch. And as I take the damage here, I can shield, avoid more damage, avoid losing concentration. But more importantly, if I take any kind of attack damage, I can go ahead and steal your life force, your soul, get free cast of spells, and free HP, right? Oh yeah. So let's go ahead and suck some souls up. Ready? We're going to twin magic. Here we go. I can cast this again on 1 and 2. Boop. So. Oh no. Oh well, I guess we'll just use a meta magic quicken spell. Now I will kill you. Oh, damn, I'm missing. Oh well. So I hit him once, I got some extra heals back. You can probably get the point. But 16 heals while doing 33 damage is honestly pretty cool. I know I'm using a lot of sorcery points, but that's just, you know, if you need to blow your load. And you have so many other spell slots anyway, maybe you conserve the level 1s for shield. Use your level 2s for Misty Step plus the free one from the boots, right? And your level 3 spells, maybe your level 4 spells, you can just use on sorcery points. So none of that nonsense where you get infinite sorcery points. You can play this fair and square with this, at least at this level. And so I think, man, this is actually, I kind of want to play a Vampiric Touch build for once, right? I think we did it, but if you think you can make it better, let me know in the comments. I'm going to bust out the notes one more time before we go. I appreciate you guys for watching. Usually I say in these videos, how do you actually level up and play this? Well, that's what I want to know. I'm actually really curious if we should just drop the wizard altogether and make it a lot simpler to level up. But I'm interested. Otherwise, if you're just looking for more general like tips and tricks, how I play some of these builds, go into the playlist. I have completed honor mode runs. Thanks to you guys. You requested me to organize it, and I have. But right now, we're currently running some new subclasses. I've already done Death Domain. Right now, I think we're running Swarm Keeper, Glamour Bard, Crown Paladin, and Blade Singer. Yeah. So if you want to see these guys in action on honor mode, not because I'm good at the game, but because I think you can beat the game. I'm of limited skill level, and I want to see you get the golden dice or find out why I like replaying this game. So go play whatever character you want using what you see on my streams or my videos, right? And if you have a question, or if you want me to answer something about patch 8, I'm trying to pay it forward and figure out stuff for you in the lab that is Basilisk Gate over here, as it were. So you guys are my sponsors. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for watching. If you survived the whole video, that was the best thing you could do to support the channel. I really do appreciate that. You want to go further beyond, I've got member support on YouTube, and that's much appreciated too. Until the next video though, you have a blessed one, and I'll see you then.